What have you noticed with DeCarrion in terms of being able to pick up the running back position? What have you liked so far, seeing him back there?
Well, I actually noticed him last year. A few times I'm like, man, DK looked really good playing running back. But, he was receiver, he was wildcat quarterback. He started getting a few reps with me during the season last year. So this year just trying to maximize our personnel and, talking with Coach D'Lo, Coach Loggins. We wanted to get him over there and see what he could do because every time he got in the game, he always ran physically. Got downhill, Tennessee, we watched some clips there. He always made explosive plays, good things happen. So he's picked it up, man, because he's a natural runner. But the thing that stands out about him is he has really good footwork for the position. Usually some guys, you move them back there and they don't get the footwork on inside zone or tight zone or counter. Take them a while to get it. But DK's been a natural learner at that part, and then that's really impressed me, which I should have known because he's been starting on our punt team for the last 2 years, is he's really good in blitz pickup. So he's shown some really good moxie, and he's picking it up well.
Montario, what have you seen from Anderson, Mario, coming to this level, and obviously did well at Newberry, but what have you seen from him so far?
Rio has, Rio's putting together a really good spring right now, I would say. I think the biggest thing that stands out from Rio is his contact balance. And, just moving up levels, I've coached at the Division II level and 1AA, and what they call SCS now, moved up the route. So usually the biggest thing is, just kind of the football intelligence, the smart, the game move a little bit faster. When I was coaching at Chowan University, Division II, usually it was about cover three buzz, maybe 3 week. You really didn't get too many teams going from 3 down to 4 down to 5 down to dime. So now it's a few more things going at him, and probably more in this blitz pickup than he's had to do. But he's picked it up good. He's a natural runner, has really good contact balance, runs physical. He's going to bring that thump that we have. But he's impressed me with just his learning of the playbook knowledge. There's still some things he need to clean up and catching out the backfield. He's impressed me with that he'll be able to pick it up. And he doesn't, he belongs with these guys. He doesn't stand out looking like he doesn't belong. Ever since the winter workouts, he's hopped in, he's competed, and he belongs.
You mentioned Coach Loggins a second ago. What are kind of your early impressions on his offense and how that's going to mesh with what you want to do with the running backs?
Well, first is multiple in the run game, and I think the biggest thing is just him coming from the NFL and then him being at Arkansas for the last 2 years, where they led the SEC in rushing for at least one of those years. I think maybe both years back to back. But just seeing some of the things that they did in the run game, mixing with some of the things that we've done, and just ways that he wants to maximize what each guy does well. So now we go back to his vault of NFL teams, and he's run every single run. So now let's go to the install thing and see what we do well and then block it up. So that's been good, just kind of bouncing ideas off him, seeing the O-line coach bounce ideas, me bounce ideas from him tell us different things, but just having some new eyes on it and him being multiple, and then also him having success coaching backs at the NFL, Chris Johnson for 2000, Howard with the Bears leading the league in rushing, those things. And then, last year, the last program he was at with that guy being one of the leading rushers in the SEC. So the guys, he already got the guys' attention coming in, and I think they like what we've been doing on offense as far as running the ball.
Obviously, you got Braswell signed. What'd you see from him throughout the recruiting process, and how excited for you to have him in here?
I'm excited. He's big. He runs physical, violent. I first seen him, running track. And, guy that big, running 10'6", 10'7". But then, I went to spring. I seen him, watched him do some spring ball practice after track season was over. He came in, running violent, playing violent. It reminded me when I went out to the practice field, it was like New Bern High School for me all over again. Back in the day, they had some old equipment out there. They were doing half gases over the full field, which we used to do all the time. And just seeing him compete and lead all those drills and be a physical guy. And then, throughout the year this year, he had a little ankle injury in the second game, and he bounced back from that quickly. Only missed one game, and they had a really good senior year. And you could just see him get, to me, every time I watch him, he gets better and better. But he has, really good size and speed for the position. He has great growth potential. He's a kick returner, so he does things. He's going to be able to affect our team on special teams. He played on defense some, so he should be able to play special teams really good. But natural runner, fast, make the first guy miss. And, I'm impressed with him. And to me, he's going to continue to grow. So we'll see what happens when he get here in June and get him in and start competing with him.
You've told us in the past how you talk to your guys about, like, NFL compared. Mm-hmm. Have you come up with any for DeCarrion and Mario?
I'm actually putting those together right now as we speak. So I'm kind of like in between a few guys with who I want. So I know this, like, it's not blasphemous. All right, this is my favorite running back. This is who Mario runs. Like, I'm not saying he's him. but he runs like Emmitt Smith to me. I can't archive old Emmitt Smith tape, but, you know, I think he has that thump. I've been getting him going to compare him with Josh Jacobs. And then, you know, DK, he does a little bit of everything, so it's kind of like, do I put him with Kamara to show him that the routes come out the backfield? But do I put him with, you know, guys, do I put him with Jacobs because he's physical, runs in between the tackles? Do I put him with Jonathan Taylor because he's explosive and does those things? So with DK, it's kind of a mix right now. I've been kind of going back and forth, but I'm actually going to start have those things ready for the guys coming up this year coming up. And, of course, Juju still got him with Austin Eckler because I like his game, how he's a guy that's supposed to be diminutive and small, but he plays big at the right time. So Mario, I'm getting his, but it'd be Josh Jacobs, you know, and Alvin Kamara between both of them with a little bit of Jonathan Taylor. So I'm trying to pull those guys and get them to watch.
Montario, how's the lack of depth in the running back room affected things this spring?
Why y'all keep saying that? All right, so I played in the SEC at running back. There were springs where we had 3 running backs on scholarship, which is what we have because you had 2 freshmen coming in or 1 freshman coming in. There were teams in the SEC that only dressed 4 running backs all year. The status quo is 5. We had 3. We're about to be at 4, so we just maybe 1 off maybe. So it's really, you know, in the spring, that's usually how it is sometimes. So really hasn't affected it at all. You know, those guys competing. You have Juju, DeCarrion, Mario. Those guys are kind of getting reps with that first group, doing some really good things, getting some reps in with Luke as well, because Luke Doty's had a good spring. And then, you know, you got Bradley Dunn, who's been coming along, playing really good on special teams, and doing some things at running back. You got Twitty, DJ Twitty that's in there playing, big physical back. And then you got Chase McCracken and Nate Harris waiting, getting some reps there as well. So it's helping me build depth. And, you know, some guys getting a few more reps in that they were getting in fall, but I think we're right on pace, you know, for getting to where we need to be at with the running back numbers. But the guys have been performing.
Montario, we haven't had an opportunity to ask you this, but how big was it from a running back standpoint to be able to get a high school player in this year's recruiting class and being able to bring a guy in like Braswell?
It was big. You know, that's the guy that we kind of pinpointed as a staff that we wanted to go after and get. And, you know, bringing him in the year before, you know, the first year we didn't bring a guy from the high school rank. So you want to continue to add good players to your team depth, but also you want to bring young players along to add those guys. So I think it was big. And, you know, this year, same thing. We're looking to do the same thing this year as well. But that's just starting, man. Just in our radius, you know, I think we did a really good job in that area, in that South Georgia area this year with some of those guys already here with Kilgore. And, you know, we got Ball coming in as an O-lineman as well. You know, Swain, just name a few. But it was big. I think it was big, and, you know, want to continue to build on that momentum. All right, appreciate y'all. Have a good Easter.